Well, it's pretty obvious what I decided to do. I took and spread out all the material across this whole thing, and as you can see by that bottom board, which is a 2x8, that this generally spread out comes up to 4 to 5 inches, probably averaging 4. So now I've watered it in, and I need to let it sit. Since it was still hot, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to water it down a couple of times, try to leach some of that nitrogen down into the soil, which is where I'm going to want most of it, and I'm going to do a test planting to see if it lives. If it doesn't live, then I let this sit another week and then try again. But I will do that planting tonight. Alright, it's Monday night, a day and a half after I decided to flatten this out. I was going to plant last night, but decided against it and thought I'd wait one more day. So I'm here over at the far corner where all these pine needles are, and I'm going to test plant this scallop squash, and if it lives, I'll give it about 2 days. It's got roots coming out the bottom, so in 2 days it should root on down through, and if it lives, then I know that this is ready to go. So I'm going to plant it and I'll give a short shot of it. Okay, I dropped it in, but I changed my mind. This over here is nothing but pine needles, so I doubt I'll plant anything there, but some squashes can crawl over it, I guess. So I planted it right there, and I'm going to give it 2 or 3 days to see how it does. Once it, like I said, it'll take 2 days to expand those roots in, and then by then I'll know whether it's too hot in here to plant. If it lives, 2 or 3 days I'll plant the rest out. My first test plan is going just fine, so I'm going to plant a few other things out here in this garden. I got some beans, tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, and butternut, white scallop, and yellow scallop. So I'm going to plant some of these in and get this thing going. Alright, I planted out most of what I had. Well, I shouldn't say most. Most that was ready. I still have some more that needs to be planted. If you're wondering how I get back and forth across this thing, that's it right there. Otherwise there'd be no way in. So yeah, I'll give this a few days to grow in, and I'll come back and plant out the rest when it's ready. I do want to make a special note about this type of garden, raised bed, and even your regular flatbed gardens. The part that you grow in should really never be walked on. You know, putting a tiller over the top of it can compact it. If you had to use a tiller the first time to break it up, that might be one thing, but the less that's walked on, the better. And you know, it has, like I said, 4 to 5 inches of organic material. In the fall, when this is all done, I'll use a spade and I'll dig down and get into the old sod and break that up and bring it all up and stir it up. But I'm, you know, gonna not be stepping on it. I'm gonna use that board so that it can stay nice and fluffy, so that the roots can really dig in easily without too much work. So that's the concept behind that.